Hey, Noah Waika here. So there's 1,000,001 install videos on how to install the Rough Country DIY bumper as well as how to install the Badlands winch. So I'm not going to go over either of those in this video, but I am going to go over a little bit of how I installed my Badlands motor controller. So the issue that I currently have with this Rough Country bumper is that these cables that are installed for the relocation kit are very short. So they really only reach up into right behind the passenger side headlight. So what I'm trying to do is basically use this space right here behind the grill without impeding too much of my radiator's airflow right here. So I'll let you know how I do it, and we'll get to it. Alright, so one possibility I came up with was the Badlands stock bracket that's included with it, mounting in the spare battery spot. The issue with that is the cables are too short, and I want to use a spare battery in this truck. So I think that's not going to work for me. So I've potentially found a spot. This front side of the radiator mount has a hole already pre-drilled in it. So I may be able to drill a second hole through, and then I can just bolt through this mount that it came with. This other end will be free floating, so maybe I'll have to tie in right here behind the grill. But it should tuck in nicely behind the grill just to kind of mock it up. That's what it'll look like. So we'll see how it goes. So one trick an old timer taught me is if you're going to be drilling close to radiators, you put a hard stop behind your drill bit. So I'm drilling through this radiator mount, and I really don't want to get into that radiator. So just a tip, I got a piece of 1/4" steel there. It should stop the bit and distribute that force if I happen to punch through. The actual assembly process was a little bit hard to film, so I didn't film that. But I will show you how I attached it. So I punched 2 holes in this support right here, right in the center of it. And this thing is really not going anywhere. For extra insurance, I may run a strap between maybe this mount here and that, or this corner and there. But it really feels like it's going to be good. I've mocked up the grill. It fits really nicely. But overall, yeah, I'm pretty happy with where this is. It seems like most of the cabling is going to reach the battery. So, hey, Noah from the future. So I realized as I was editing that I didn't have a lot of footage of how I cleaned up the install and put everything back together. So the grill is on. You can see where the controller sits behind the grill. It's probably about a good 4 or 5 inches back. So plenty of clearance there. It really doesn't impede any airflow around the radiator. I've run the truck about 14,000 miles since I've installed it, over 10 months or so. So all weather conditions, it really does great. I've taken a couple long trips, over 2,000 miles with the truck in this setup, and it really has done very well. The other thing to finish it out is I ran the actual connection leads, the positive and negative to the battery, up over the passenger side on the right-hand side of the truck. The other thing is on this dust cover here, I've cut a square access panel here. Just so I can get down in there, I have some access to the winch. I can turn it on and off as well as plug straight in. That's something to note if you do replicate this, that you mount it right side up, because otherwise you won't be able to plug anything into the winch. Overall, 14,000 miles later, the truck's still running great. The winch setup still works great. I've done some pretty heavy recoveries with it, pulling near the full capacity of the winch, and it's really held up well. So I hope you enjoyed this install. I hope it was informative for you. If you do replicate it, let me know. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, something to improve next time. I'll see you in the next video.